Before we begin the video, I would like to give a big thank you to those who have paid tribute so far. Captain Kohei, Rodney Huggins, TNT Fox, Jorgen Hilson, Eric, Grimx Law 22, Trey, Jicanator 78, Potter Brony, Chris Alfred, Andrew Top, Teresa Harrison, Corey Costello, and Jeffrey Maple. Thank you very much for your support, and if you wish to pay tribute as well, feel free to click the link below to go to our Patreon to find out more. I'll see you there.
What's up, everybody? So, The Odd Ones Out is a animation channel on YouTube, and there are a bunch of animation channels that got popular a few years back and frequently made the #1 trending spots and such. And they're basically the channel owners telling stories and stuff from their lives, and then they animate them, make them pretty funny. And most of these dudes and dudettes are very, very talented at what they do. And Odd Ones is one of the ones that I got shown first, and all of his stories are really good. And he's got these stories about when he used to work at a Subway, or a Sooubway, if you prefer.
So, okay, who here is eating at a Subway? Okay, so I think we know the ins and outs of Subway to a fair amount. You know, the horror stories about the oven cooking your sandwich too long. The fact that they put too much damn spinach on your freaking thing. It's like, my mom asked for like a little bit of spinach. They put like ice cream scoops in there. I'm like, no, just like, she wanted like a light glazing of spinach.
It's either way too much or not enough of everything.
Usually.
Yeah.
You have to find the people that work at the ones that you know that actually know how to make a good sandwich.
Okay, a little bit more. Okay, good.
Stop.
They're probably up in their stuff about, oh, don't you go over on this. Don't you know,
yeah,
it's all about profit.
It's like
well, if they put,
too much mozzarella on that.
Yeah, if they put too much of certain things on it, they have to charge you extra for it. So.
That is true.
Run by a bunch of Ferengi.
Oh, good.
Yeah, money, so.
whose former spoke. Subway really started going downhill the very moment Jared got found out that he was.
Or was it the yoga mat in their bread? They were using.
Oh, that's right. I read about that.
The same shit that they used to make yoga mats, they were using it in their bread.
Like flatbread. Wow. Their flatbread stuff, dude. Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
That's horrifying because flatbread was like all I ate there for a long time.
I think it was everybody.
You probably got a yoga mat gestating in your bowels.
You got a sweaty yoga mat.
Is that why my stomach's fucked up all the time?
I don't know.
I'm going to sue you if that turns out to be true, Subway.
Is that why I always wake up in downward dog?
Is that why I'm always doing the Cobra? Oh, God.
Lucky for you guys, I don't have health insurance. I haven't got to go find out yet, but better hope that's not the case.
From February 28th, 2014, Subway made headlines in February when the sandwich shop announced it was removing a chemical called, I cannot say that.
Let's see it. A chemical called azodicarbonamide. Azodicarbonamide, that's... Whoa, that's actually like that's a foam chemical. That's actually like a very heavy
from
foam
its
chemical.
breads, so all of them. The chemical is used.
I thought it was just flatbread.
No, from all of its breads.
Oh, we're all dying from the yoga mat.
They used it to bleach the flour and make dough stronger and more rubbery.
Oh.
But it is also used in yoga mats and rubber shoe soles.
Thanks a lot.
You betrayed me.
Subway.
Hey, whether you're on a street corner or in a sandwich shop, if they're offering you a $5 footlong, there's something wrong with it.
Yep. That's fair.
True.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people are now going to Jersey Mike's instead.
Yeah.
Jersey Mike's, I like Jersey Mike's.
That just sucks because I used to eat Subway a lot.
I still eat at Subway.
2014.
I don't give a damn.
I like Subway.
Well, I ate it a
Jersey
lot
Mike's
when they
is
had that. For
$15.
sure.
They got
Oh, that's right, though, yeah.
They got busted out and took it out of it.
I'm pretty sure 2014 is around the time that I was working at GameStop in Elizabeth, and there was a Subway right next door, so I either went to Subway or Bojangles.
I've always been eating at Subway.
I still do.
Yeah, me too.
I still do, man. I mean, heck, I'm hankering Subway right now, even though I just read that. You see?
Go do DDP yoga and eat some Subway.
Chicken
Well, see,
teriyaki.
And you'll be like Jared. Wait, don't do that.
We always eat when it's too late to go anywhere that's not open late, and then we found out there was a Subway that was open all night in our local hospital. But the thing about that is if you go over there and try to get a sub there, you get bitched at by bitchy ass nurses because you're fucking making them late getting back from their lunch break.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that this is a public Subway open to the freaking world.
Yeah.
Oh, am I interrupting your lunch break? Oh, I'm sorry. How about you go save some lives, bitch?
Yeah, sorry you're making $35 an hour. My bad.
It pissed me and Nate off really bad.
I was in line and I was getting ready to like do this and all that, and just to prove a point, I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. Hey, you know what? You're so important. You go ahead. I'm just gonna peace out. I'm just gonna peace out, and I'm gonna go make something at home, bitch. Fucking hell, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look. I get that people have a limited amount of time sometimes when it comes to them getting food so that they can go back to work. But
Pack your shit.
At the same time, you have to be aware that if you're going to a public place, then you're going to expect some delays.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you'll live.
but anyway,
I've been late before going to break and stuff, and that happens. But you know what? Screw it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
But-
not like my boss is like, "Oh no, we're gonna fire you." No,
But-
they don't give a shit.
But I figured what we would do is we would we'd react to the first two in this one video and do the other two in the next one.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the hell of it. Just for the halibut.
So people basically asked us to go back and watch these. I've seen the first three,
Okay.
but they have not seen any.
I have
I've not
seen any
seen
of
this
these.
shit. Tell me something, Marshmallow Man.
He does
I
look
think
kind of
that
like a
everyone
marshmallow.
at some point in their life should work in a fast food or retail job. Not to
Been there,
improve their
done it.
work ethic or anything, but so that everyone knows what it's like to have that kind of job. They wouldn't work in fast food their whole lives, maybe just like for 6 months, just so they get a feel for it. So with that, let's talk about the time when I worked in fast food. I used to work at a very small local sandwich shop. I don't know if any of you guys heard of it. It's called Sooubway. Our spokesperson was in the news recently. Did you hear he got beat up in jail? I kind of want to meet the person
He
who beat
deserves
up
it.
Jared more than Jared. Not in person. We wouldn't meet in person, obviously. But like, he would be behind bars, and I would just look at the guy who beat up my spokesperson. How many people get to say that they beat up a fast food icon who is also a pedophile? Only one, and it's that guy. Okay, but seriously, guys, working at
got a
Subway was
point.
probably one of the most easiest jobs out there. I don't know why I'm about to complain about it to you guys. We got free cookies. And you know the comic with the Subways in Hell? I was actually working at Subway when I made that comic. I just think it adds sort of a little bit of value to it. You see, the owners, who were husband and wife, can you believe it, of the Subway I worked at owned 2 stores. One of the Subway stores was in a Walmart on an Indian reservation, because
What
we have
the
those
fuck?
in Arizona. And the other Subway was the Subway I worked at. And since the Walmart store was always busy, the owners would spend 99% of their time at that store. So I didn't really have a boss most of the time. On the off chance the owners did show up, they would just pick up some food and then they would make sure I was making sandwiches the right way. And every time I made a sandwich in front of them, they would always find something wrong with it, without fail. You put on too many olives. Do you know according to the Subway formula, you're only supposed to put on 8 olives on a foot long? 8! One for every other bite. That's just ridiculous. Can you imagine someone just counting out 8 olives? Nobody does that. I usually worked the closing shift, and at the end of the night, we would turn the alarm and we have 60 seconds to get out of the store. But one time I had the opening shift, so I unlocked the door to get in with my key, and the alarm went beep, beep, meaning I had 60 seconds to turn it off. No big deal, right? I've turned the alarm on all the time when I was closing. So I go to the little control panel and I type in the code and nothing happens. The beeping is still there and the clock is still ticking down.
I've
So I
had that
go,
before,
okay,
too.
I'm going to press each button very carefully.
Okay, yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to make sure each button makes a beep when I press it. Beep, beep, beep. Nothing still happens. So I go, okay, I'm going to make sure to press each button very carefully. And I start thinking, did they change the passcode without telling me? Well, this is the only passcode I know, so we're just going to try it again. And I press each button very carefully. Beep, beep, beep. And it goes quiet. And then the alarm alarm goes off. I still had like 20
Oh, no.
seconds left. But I guess when you get it wrong 3 times, it automatically assumes you're a burglar. So while the alarm is going off, I look on the contact sheet for the owner's cell phone number. I step outside, I call him, and he doesn't pick up. So I go back inside, find the number for the other Subway store. They open an hour before we do. Someone picks up with their stupid voice. Oh, thank you for calling Subway. I'm blah, 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 blah. How may I help you? And I go, hey, is Mike there? It's not his real name, guys. Don't worry. And they go, just a minute. Yeah, sure. I have all the time in the world. The cops might be on their way, but take your time. Mike picks up. Yellow. Hey, Mike, this is James. What's the passcode for the alarm? Who is this? It's James. What's the passcode? What are you doing there, James? Why aren't you answering the question? I have the opening shift. Is the alarm going off? Yeah, no one told me the new code. Yeah, we changed it. It's the last 4 digits of your social security number. Oh, okay. Thanks, Mike. I don't know my social security number. So I finally get the alarm off. No one showed up, thankfully. Which I actually don't know if that's a good thing or not. No. We did have a store manager who would like make the schedule and sometimes tell us, hey, can you guys do a better job at your job? But other than that, she was cool. She watches my videos and so do her little brothers. They're big fans. Shout out to Ivan and Andy. Those are the brothers. So get this. At Subway, you only work with one other person. Just you and them in an empty Subway for 5 hours. I mean, we weren't like empty all the time. Okay. And when you're not making sandwiches, you have other stuff to do, like stocking the chips, or we had stuff to do. But okay, we did watch a lot of Netflix and do homework, so I mean, it was that other person you worked with would make or break your entire shift. It wasn't the annoying customers. I kind of got used to annoying customers. So I worked with a lot of crappy people. And I also worked with a lot of people who I would probably never become friends with, except in a work setting. You see, you gotta understand the type of people who got jobs at Subway. Potheads. Most of them are potheads. And some of them are really cool. I'm just going to go over a couple of the characters that I worked with. There was Tyler. I freaking love this guy. He smoked a lot of weed. He actually taught me what vaping was, and he got me into Clash of Clans. I actually mentioned him and his girlfriend in my riddles video. I don't know if I ever told him that. And of course, I have to mention Corey. He was cool. We watched How to Get Away with Murder on Netflix, and I've also hung out with him outside of work. What him and Tyler had in common is that they would actually do their job, which you got to appreciate. Then there was this guy. Get this, who was also named Jared, and he was fat. I know, right? He's like Jared before. He loved Marvel, and that's like the only thing he would talk about. I can say these things. He doesn't watch my videos. There was Sarah. She was cool. She made me a bread bowl. And her boyfriend, Jay. He talked about chakras and third eyes. He was interesting. And also, there's Anthony. He's cool. What's up, Anthony? For the 100,000 sprinkles video, I actually went back to Subway to use their scale because I knew they had one. And we counted 500 sprinkles again just to be more accurate for the 100,000. And Anthony helped me count instead of working. I mean, at least he got paid minimum wage for it. So 2 more stories before I go. One time, Jared asked me to take out this pile of trash, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just put this pile of trash in the dumpster. And as I was taking it out, I saw that there was a chip poster in the pile. And I thought, this is too cool to throw away. I'm going to keep it. So I took it home with me. And then the next day when I went in, people were saying, oh, where's the chip poster? We can't find the chip poster. We haven't seen it anywhere. And I'm thinking, I have the poster. I decided not to tell anyone that I had the poster. And it's still hanging up in my room. Okay, and the other story, I was working with a manager and we were just making sandwiches like usual. And I noticed that when we toasted a sandwich, it would burn the paper a little on the edges. That probably shouldn't be happening. So then a customer asks for just bacon toasted. And the boss lady puts some bacon on paper and then puts it in the toaster. And we don't have a setting for just bacon. So then when she opens the toaster, there was a fire on the bacon. So then she starts to whack it with the little metal tray thing, but all she ended up doing was fanning the flames, making the fire bigger.
It's a grease flame.
You got this, right? Then I went in the back and I got the fire extinguisher and I actually used it. I single-handedly saved that Subway. Wait, what have I done? Is it okay if the bacon's a little crispy? And has nitrogen and carbon dioxide stuff on it? Wow, I didn't even mention a single bad customer experience. Well, I don't want the video to be too long. I should make a part 2. I'm going to make a part 2 and it's just going to be stories about annoying customers that I had to deal with. And if anyone I used to work with is watching and I didn't mention you, it's because I hate you.
Fair enough.
I think that...
So, yeah, that's part 1.
I worked at a Little Caesars, and
Hey, this is...
1 in every 5 customer was decent, like tolerable. The rest of the customers were awful.
That sucks.
Fair enough.
I mean, the
It's
thing
not a
about
good
it is,
rate.
like, when you get a rush and stuff like that, you're backed up and you don't have all the pizzas out yet.
Yeah.
Everybody is pissed if you don't have it immediately. Like,
Well,
oh,
yeah.
you gotta wait 2 minutes? Oh, no. Like, they expect to just hand it right over the counter and go, and they would just
Yeah.
huff and puff. I'm like, I'm so sorry. You got nothing better to do with your next 2 minutes, or that you're so damn busy that you can't sacrifice your next 2 minutes of work, or life.
Ridiculous.
Your life. I can't
Well,
talk right today. But
Well, I worked at Hardee's, and other things that Hardee's is what made me quit that job at Hardee's. But I will say this: there was some messed up stuff that happened at that Hardee's that, honestly, it's pretty much a health code violation on every freaking level, as to the crap that happened there. For instance, I remember one time the buns, the buns that we had back in the back, the sesame seed buns and all that. There was one pack that had a little split in it, and half the buns were bad.
yeah, had
Half the
moisture
buns
in
were
it, so
molded.
they molded.
Yeah.
Throw it
So
away.
no, well, I was about to. My manager said, "Wait, are all of them bad?" And I'm like, "It's typically standard whenever one thing is bad in the bag, you throw all of them out
Yes.
because of possible contamination."
The rotten
And,
one spoils the whole batch. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's
I
moisture
say
in
that.
the bag,
yeah,
so-
exactly. I say that. And you know what my manager says?
Oh, God.
Just throw away the ones that have mold on it. I'm like,
You can have
you're-
mold without seeing it, right?
like that's not how this works.
Yeah.
And she's just
It's
like,
a hairy bun.
no, and she's, oh God. So anyway, I throw, like, she sits there and watches me throw them away, and I'm just like, man, we just need to throw all these away. And I'm not gonna say her name. I'll just call her Tess. We're not gonna throw all these away, Tess, because if we throw, we have to throw all these away, Tess, because I mean, literally all the mold that's in the bag is now infected and all these. And she's like, but once we run it through the crisper thing, it kills all the germs and this and that. And I'm like, that's if it's on meat. That's if it's on something like that has been held at normal, stable temperatures for a select amount of time.
bread's not really cooked. It's heated.
Well, no, they toast the bun. The bun
If you
toaster
toast
thing.
it, it's still
Yeah.
not like thoroughly cooking it.
Exactly. And I told her this, and eventually, after enough of my belly aching, she called it, she was just like, okay, just go ahead and throw them all away. It's like, but that's a loss, Nate. That's a loss on the store. And I'm like, yeah, it's a loss
shit.
on the store versus a lawsuit. Jesus. But, yeah, I mean,
People do that a lot.
Chipotle Gordon Ramsay, you're gonna fucking kill someone!
exactly. Yeah, the shitty lobster
that's-
that
when I-
almost did kill someone.
Yeah, when I went to my ServSafe certification, cross contamination and stuff like that is an absolute no go. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't do that. Like,
No.
what kind of manager would go against their training?
A bad one.
A very bad one.
Redneck dumb fuck. To put it
Just wanna
bluntly,
eat it.
Sounds like Tess.
somebody whose family tree goes up like a stick, no branches,
Sounds like Tess.
Keep it all in the family.
uncle, cousins,
Uncle Grandpa.
uncle, grandpa. Good morning.
Don't
All night long. Good morning.
Uncle.
I love Uncle Grandpa.
It's like, wait, he's an uncle and his grandpa? Everything makes so much sense now.
The little music samples that they had, or the
Yeah.
compilation albums.
Yeah.
He had that metal song. Please pass the mustard. Please pass the mustard.
Hey, Nick, I think we got a new hit on our hands right
Right.
there. Please pass the mustard. Yeah, please pass the mustard. Yeah.
I don't think I can legally take that.
Oh,
He was
It's
dressed up like
plagiarism.
Gigi Allen too. He had a spiked collar or a spiked collar and like tidy waddies on,
that's awesome.
and was bald. He looked just like Gigi
Gigi
Allen.
Allen.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? How are they gonna put Gigi Allen on a kid's?
Because I
cartoon?
guarantee you most of the kids out there won't know, and most
Have
of the
no clue.
executives have no idea who the hell Gigi Allen is.
Only a
not?
select few people.
I guarantee you the person who made the show, he's just like, I'm going to sneak that in there, and there's going to be people who get it, and they're going to talk about it on a reaction video.
Basically gonna be like punk fans like you and people like me that worked in a music store that
Yeah.
know who the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
He was one turd away from, or throwing a turd away from being like legitimate Gigi Allen.
Yeah. Well, that and turd throwing and like heroin overdosing.
If you don't know who Gigi Allen is, don't look him up.
Don't.
Yeah.
Please, God, do not look him up.
Save yourself some.
Save yourself.
Some what the fucks.
It's one of the biggest wastes of oxygen to ever live.
You ain't kidding. All right, here we go. This is part 2, annoying customers.
All right.
Hey, this is kind of like a part 2 video. I mean, you don't have to have seen the part 1 video to understand what I talk about in this video. But I mean, if you haven't watched part 1, you should. So I used to work at Sooubway, and to be honest, about 80% of the customers were fine. Sometimes they would do something that would just personally annoy me, like ask for a meatball on flatbread. So don't feel too bad for me. Like sometimes people would ask me, can I have a turkey with lettuce, tomatoes? Whoa, slow down. What kind of bread? Footlong or 6-inch? What kind of cheese? Is it toasted? Then we'll talk about vegetables. And every time someone brought in a list, there would always be something missing on it. Always. I never had someone come in with a complete list. I would ask someone, what kind of cheese? And they would say, they didn't specify. Well then, if they didn't care enough to remember cheese, I guess they'll get Swiss. If anyone watching is currently working at a Sooubway, then feel free to use these tricks. If someone asked me,
what kind of cheese do you recommend?
I would always say provolone, because it's the easiest cheese to pull apart with gloves on. Really, if anyone asked me what I recommended, I would just tell them the easiest thing for me to do. But even after I gave my insightful provolone cheese recommendation, sometimes people would still say,
I'll take American.
why do you even ask me what cheese I would recommend if you're not going to take it seriously? Another thing that would annoy me is when people would say the sandwich was all done, but they didn't put any sauce on it. So I would ask, any sauce? And then they would be like, oh yeah, mayonnaise. Oh, why did you tell me it was all done if it wasn't? Also, the receipt machine at the store took like 7 seconds to print out the receipt. So it would be very awkward every time I would ask people, do you want your receipt? And then they would say yes, and then we would just stare at each other until the receipt printed. So what I did every time someone swiped their credit card, I would just stare off into space, and in my head I would count to 5. And then I would ask, do you want your receipt? And by the time they said yes, it was like magic. As soon as they said yes, the receipt printed. At Sooubway, you only work with one other person. So if someone got annoyed and said, let me talk to your manager, I would just look at them and go, listen, I've been here the longest. The only other person in this store is a 16-year-old girl, and she technically isn't old enough to use a toaster, so I'm probably your best bet. I'm the manager. Like, do people think the manager will automatically take their side and give them free stuff? Yes, actually,
Yes.
I do think that
They
because
do.
it happens all the time. I would consider
Yes.
myself a pretty laid-back Sooubway employee. I didn't like to be stingy with people, even though I was disobeying the Sooubway formula on purpose. Oh, you want more than 6 olives
My
on your
man.
foot long? Sure. Here, have a 5th slice of cheese. $1.50 for avocado. I'll charge you 75 cents, buddy. I probably shouldn't be saying these things, in case this whole YouTube thing flops and I need a job. So I wasn't really strict on the rules. You know those fast food workers who are strict? No, we won't serve breakfast at 10:02. Get out. But being pretty laid
Now they
back
serve it
still
all
didn't
day.
stop people from being annoying.
I assume
so this
that's
one person
McDonald's.
comes
Not
in and
at
asks for
Bojangles.
2 foot-long pastrami sandwiches.
They will
and
not give you
pastrami is
roasted
our
chicken
most
bites.
expensive sandwich. It's about $10 for a foot-long. And guys, the pastrami is super good. But I wouldn't pay for it. I mean, it's good, yeah, but I'm not paying $10 for a foot-long. It's not worth it. So this guy, I make his 2 sandwiches, I ring him up, and I say, that'll be $20. And I guess he didn't look at the price of the sandwich on the menu, or he thought we still did the $5 footlongs, because he said to me, I ain't paying for that. And this is when I was just starting out. I only had like a week of experience. And after he said that, I responded, well, shoot, I guess you're not paying for it. I didn't know people could do that. Hey, I want this. All right, that's $20. Nah, you don't want it? No, I want it. I'm just not paying for it. Okay, no, but actually, we did come up with a compromise. He told me that he had $12, so he ended up paying for one of the sandwiches, and I got to eat the other one. So it all worked out. This one time I was making a sandwich for a guy with a very heavy accent, and he asks for onions on the side. No big deal. We at Sooubway put vegetables in little cups all the time. I actually got a soup cup because the on the side cups are teeny tiny, and I start doing my thing, but then he says, no, on the side. And I think, oh, he's getting a foot long. He probably wants onions on half of it, but not the other. So I start putting onions on half the sub, but then again he says, no, on the side. At this point, I don't know what this guy wants. So I ask him, on the side of what? And then he screams, onions! And I never figured out what he was trying to say. This one old gentleman asked for sauce to put on his
I wouldn't have
vegetables,
either.
and normally we put it on top of the sandwich with the meat. And I didn't know if I heard him correctly because I put the sauce on and then I closed the sandwich. So your sauce would have been in the same place either way. One time this woman tipped me and Corey $40. She wasn't annoying, I just want to sprinkle in some good customer stories. Okay, one time this Native American person came in, and I don't know if mentioning that was important to the story. He comes in and asks for 5-foot-long tunas. Okay, Tyler, just me and you, let's do this. And then when we're all finished, we ring him up and we say, anything else? And he says, 7 meatballs. You wanted 7 more sandwiches. But James, you're Sooubway. You're supposed to make people sandwiches regardless of how many they ask for. Yeah, I know, but the guy could have handled it differently. Normally for a platter, you have to call in at least an hour ahead, and that's only 5 foot-longs. This guy could have called ahead and said, hey, I'm getting 12 sandwiches, so just prepare yourselves. Mentally. I mean, we had so many customers waiting in line. No, we didn't. That's a lie. It was only him. But still, this one woman, I was making her sandwich, and for vegetables, she asked for extra lettuce. So I put on a big handful, but then she asks for more. So I put more on, more, and sprinkle some on, more. Close the sandwich with any more lettuce. And
Sounds
she
like
says,
Aaron.
That's fine. All right, extra lettuce it is. So I ended up giving her an open sandwich with a mountain of lettuce. You know we do salads, right? When I was little, I always thought if I was working at a store and someone tried to rob me, I wouldn't give them any money. But now it's like, I ain't risking my life for Sooubway. Here, take the cash register. So thankfully I've never had anyone pull a gun on me, but I have caught people stealing from us. I was making someone's sandwich and this one kid asks for just a water cup, so I gave it to him. So I go back to making a sandwich and I just hear the fuzzy soda sounds being dispensed. And I look over, and the kid is putting soda in the cup. He didn't even try to hide it. When I put soda in a water cup, I at least wait for the employees to go in the back. But I didn't even say anything. I was just like, all right, man. This guy, I totally saw him take a bag of chips, and he hid it under the counter so I couldn't see. So when I rang up his sandwich, I asked, anything else? And he said, nope. Alright, whatever. Okay, last story. I was in the back, playing some Clash of
I mean,
Clans.
not gonna lie, I
We have
probably
the
would
computer
too. I
that
wish it
shows
was-
the camera see, and I see this woman who was eating there. She reached over the counter and took 3 large cups, and I did nothing to stop it. You know, I'm the kind of person that's like,
Wow.
a fast food employee is always right. Say if I was eating somewhere, and I asked for a chicken salad, and they said, we only have tuna salad. I'm the kind of person that's like, oh, well, I guess I'm having the tuna salad then. I think people need to realize that these fast food workers are actually people, and not something for you to use to get a free sandwich. I did mean it when I said in the last video that everyone at some point should work in a fast food or retail job. It's nuts. Okay, we're done.
So everybody needs to understand what you have
Look,
to
she's
freaking
actually
go
putting
through.
6 olives on a foot long. One of them even fell off.
Oh my god.
It's a travesty.
There's like no point in
How
even
they-
ordering
That
olives
online, they
there
just
if they're
grab
actually
a
going to do that.
handful Because I love black
Sprinkle,
olives.
like sprinkle them on, like.
That and jalapenos, and then chicken teriyaki with sweet onion sauce. And
Oh, bro.
That's how we
I'm
can
getting
get rich,
hungry.
guys. We
What?
just like open up a Subway, and then we cut their formula in half, but charge them the same price. I think it's like a brilliant idea, dude.
What kind of weed you been smoking, man? Because I want some.
Open up a Subway, profit.
We could do that. We could do that. We could actually go to a Subway at.
who's the manager? I think you are, Chad.
No,
Yep.
I
You
managed
gotta
to
deal with all the
managed to find my way out of that situation.
No, because if you're the manager, all you do is sit in the back all day and just listen to music and just like.
That's
Dang,
That's
like-
what a lot of owners do, though, man. They'll like own the store and buy it, but then work like the newest employee works. You know, just like do the simplest shit. Oh, see me sweeping the corner. I own the store.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna leave. I was here for 5 minutes. Good job, guys.
Yep. And you get paid more than all of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the way they do it.
Hey, it sounds
all
like
the
a good
time.
job to me.
Everything looks good. Everything looks clean. Y'all look busy. Cool deal. Buy a piece.
I have worked with one manager though,
was
and
hands-on?
my dad.
Oh yeah, your pops.
Who will outwork anybody that works for them. The guy who owns Moondog and Bella's.
Yeah, that guy
That
is
Nelson,
on it, dude.
He comes in there, and I don't care if it's washing. This guy's a multi-millionaire. He owns also like a medical equipment distribution company too.
Oh, wow.
But he will come in there and wash the fucking dishes, bus tables. He don't give a fuck, dude.
He's a badass, dude.
Yeah.
I've
I
seen the
admire
guy.
that.
I've met him.
I
Yeah.
admire that too.
If
nice.
we were in a rush, I mean, he'd start making pizzas, man. Just yeah.
Just like start throwing them in the oven, like.
He would ask the manager or do it himself, like whatever needed to be done. Just go.
Yeah.
That's a good owner.
Mhm.
That's a traditionally good owner
Yeah.
right there.
Well, that's
I
like
mean,
we had a district manager that would come in to GameStop that I really liked because, like, not only was he super friendly to everybody there, and he was never like a jerk, you know. And if something needed to be done differently, he would ask in a polite way. But like, he actually would help you out while he was there if you needed it. You know, like if he came in during Christmas season, like everything was super busy, he was like, well, let me help this person while you ring them up. You know, I was like, all right, cool.
Well, also that reminds me of Dick and Mac McDonald, the McDonald brothers, the ones who actually founded the McDonald's restaurant before Ray Kroc incorporated it and
Stole
stole it out from under. Yeah, he did. He
did.
pretty much did. And the thing is, the Dick and Mac McDonald, they had a dream. They wanted to have their own restaurant that was successful. And lo and behold, in San Bernardino, California, boom, they just opened up, and they pretty much just had. And Dick was always out in the kitchen, like making sure everything was good, and Mac was always outside, like asking customers, how their day is and all this and all that, if they need condiments or anything, ketchup or anything, and he would bring it to them. They were hands-on kind of management, and that's why people loved him. And now you see what McDonald's is nowadays.
Corporatized, basically cattle herders.
Yes.
They herd
The
cattle
All-American
through there all
Slop
day.
House.
Yeah.
Come in, get your shit, and get out as fast and quick as possible, so we can
Yeah,
have
it's
room
like
for other
also I don't buy McDonald's food. I rent it because it's pretty much the same quality whenever I drop it off in the toilet later on.
Then it just gets shipped to Taco Bell.
Damn.
Woo! Spicy meat.
Hey, they got rid of the $5 boxes so they can suck my dick.
No, they still have $5 boxes.
It depends on which
Really?
one.
Yeah, I
Depends
got
on
one
which
last night. I got a double chalupa $5 box last night.
Really?
The stuff
But they did
comes
get
and
rid of
goes so
but they
fast.
did get rid of the number 11 combo.
Oh,
I
they
am
definitely
pissed
got
about
rid of the
that.
number 11. The one in Johnson City next to the mall didn't have it. I went 2 different times.
Yeah, I know. So the one at X7, this one right up here, they're 2 different. They got different.
What the
stuff on
fuck, man?
It's different management companies, dude. I mean, even though PepsiCo owns the Taco Bell brand, it's different. It's different owners for different restaurants.
But the number 10, though, come on.
Oh, actually, yeah, I did go by there one time recently, and they had slimmed their menu down, streamlined it down, and the $5 boxes looked like they were missing, but I looked hard enough, and there was still a listing on there for them. And now when I went back last night, they do have the boxes on the bottom, big things.
Thank
again.
God they probably realized that was a mistake hiding it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do, man? I mean,
Cry like I did when they got
Cry.
rid of the number 10.
Yeah, cry like a child.
Yeah, I still agree with Chris Porter, though. He's like, Taco Bell's never lied to you. It's like McDonald's is like, we got to raise our cattle right, and McDonald's won't chop them up and make them into burgers. Taco Bell's like, hey, we're putting shit in a Dorito. Get down here.
Yeah, for real.
It's like
You're not lying.
several years ago, there was an article came out that was like, Taco Bell's meat's only 20%. And so Taco Bell took out a full article in New York Times or something like that to be like, fuck you, it's 80. It's like, yeah, it's not all real, but we're Taco Bell. It's a B-. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, that's an honest company.
That's honest. I mean, that's kind of why I like them. I mean, they're honest about.
It's like go in Taco Bell and look for the word food. It ain't in there. It's called fourth mill for legal reasons.
When your food's $1 or less, I mean, you can't complain about anything. I mean, whatever
No.
it's made of, you gotta accept it. It's $1 or less. So.
Yeah.
Their slogan is "Live Moss." Like, you don't speak Spanish. Shut the fuck up and eat this. You know?
Pretty much.
That's what they
so
do.
accurate.
Nobody knew what that little chihuahua was saying back in the day.
Don't get a Taco
They're just
Bell.
like, hey, that's a cute dog.
It's
I
a
like
cute
taco.
dog, yeah.
It's a cute dog. He said something about tacos.
If
Let's
you go
go.
in there and actually speak Spanish, I could bet you nobody in the whole damn store.
I guarantee.
Nobody. Be,
Funny
like,
side
hang
note.
on, hang on a second. Let me pull up my phone. They'd be like Google Translate.
Well, dude, it's like
say that
Funny
again.
side
they
note.
don't have
What's up?
anybody
What's up?
that's of a Spanish or Latino descent working there. It's all the local white kid stoners.
Yeah.
obviously.
Always.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to think that Taco Bell was designed to be like Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Because it was like
Yeah,
That's
because-
right.
a Taco Bell and Saved by the Bell. I didn't get that they were trying to be all like Aztec colors and
Yeah, I didn't
symbols
either.
and
I
stuff.
thought
I
that
thought
was
it was just.
I thought it was just like that early '90s style, Saved by the Bell.
Well, I thought it was
I
like
mean, people in there were
had
dressed
something
like
to do with Saved by
Fresh
the
Prince
Bell.
of Bel Air. I mean, it was just kind of like they work uniforms in there.
Yeah. God,
I don't know.
that's weird, dude.
The delusions of a young redneck child in a Mexican themed restaurant.
Mexican sympathy.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that Taco Bell's tried to go to Mexico several times, and Mexico said, "Fuck no, get the fuck back across the border."
We ain't broke enough to eat Taco Bell. Get the fuck out of here.
We make real corn tortillas by hand.
Exactly.
Do some drugs, and I won't be hungry at all.
Oh yeah. Also, I think I noticed a cameo in this video too.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Jayden was one of the customers.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I figured that she looked similar, and I'm like, I think she was the girl who stole.
It
the
sounded
cups.
like her voice, yeah, or not the cups, but
no, the one
she was
with
one of
the,
the first ones.
Okay, yeah. Jayden Animation, she's also very popular.
She also does the same kind of thing.
She's hilarious.
Also, if by any chance, James, you happen to see this video, I know you're friends with Jayden, and if you want to tell her that I have a huge crush on her, and if she's ever in East Tennessee and wants to go on an ice cream / coffee date, feel free. I'm sure she'll turn me down, but you never know.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you can't find out if you don't try.
This whole video,
turn you down into that downward dog.
34-minute reaction video has all been a ploy. It's all just a ploy so that Nick can ask out Jayden Animations through James at TheOdd1sOut. That's it. That's all it is. End of the video right there. Ladies and gentlemen.
That is not true at all.
I know.
I'm just tacking that on because
we're messing with you. Come on, Nick.
Dude, I love James' stuff too, so that's why we're watching it. So.
TheOdd1sOut. I mean, these are hilarious. I've seen a couple of these, but I've never really taken it upon myself to like sit down and watch them. But now, I mean, if people want us to watch these, I mean, I'm all for it. These are awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Nick, you let us in. You want to lead us out?
Sure. So we got the link to the original video down in the description, and you should go click on that. Go over to James's channel. Like and subscribe if you're not already. Give him some support because he's a really cool dude and he puts a lot of work into his videos.
Yes.
Check out his whole network of friends as well because they all make awesome stuff too, like Jayden and my brain sucks, so I'm blanking, but you'll find them all watching his stuff, I'm sure. And then we got a link to our Discord down there. You can come hang out with us, talk to us about stuff, request things that you would like us to watch if you want us to watch more stuff like this. And then we got a link to our Patreon if you want to support us, and we very much appreciate that. We also very much appreciate if you would click on the subscribe button and the bell to get notifications for when we put new stuff up, and click that like button. It helps us out a lot. And I guess until next time, I'm Nick.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Nate.
I'm Chad.
And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.